Hello, this is a video for Great Western Trail. This is one of my favourite designers. I didn't like this game though, of all of his other games. It's slowly grown on me, and it might have been just how I played or something to that effect. But either way, there's some extra printouts in here, by the way. It's just a game that, I don't know, over time, I've given enough chances. And I've played it, I think, as a 2 and a 4, and it wasn't really for me, but I think 3, as other places agree, is the preferential player count. So what I'm going to be doing is just setting up the board for you and showing you what it's like. Now, similar to another video I recorded today, via Amana, lovely artwork on the back. So this is just a nice way of just having something in place that, shows you a little bit of, it's difficult to pick up because, of course, the imagery is very faint, but it's set in the Wild West, or at least Western days. And what we're looking to do is basically, gain victory points in a number of different ways, which I think is what people like about the game. So in the game, we're representing cowboys, and we're looking to be also engineers, as well as let's call them, I want to say traders, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So everybody gets a player board, so most importantly, choose your colour. So let's just say we're going to be blue. We also have yellow and other colours here, yellow, red, and I think, is it green? Well, anyway. So let's grab the blue counters. So you take everything out of the board, just chuck it out. This is just for your deck. And then you're going to be taking these counters and sticking them over all these circular markers. These are things you can't unlock later in the game, which I'll show you how. But the point of it is to show that you initially can't do some of these actions. These are fine. That's how it starts off. If you're playing a 3-player game, you also be using this. But I'm just showing you an example if it's 2-player. So where this goes, it just goes on here. So it gives you different abilities depending on how many players. You take that off, you get 3 points, 3 coins, and this one you get 3 points. Over here, if you remove a hazard, which is green, you're losing -2, or if you have to go past it, you use -1. And this one, again, it's a different kind of thing. But you'll see what I mean in a second. So, point these out as well. Some of these are white backed, some of these are black. Black requires certain actions to allow you to do them, which is do this train route when you got this black line up there as well. Okay, so everyone's placed out. You grab your little chap, you stick him down the left-hand, bottom right-hand corner, which is just visible there. Okay, so that's there. And finally, you have your train. So your train is going to go all the way back up here. And as you can see, it's just about in shot. And finally, you have a little marker that is for your rosettes, and that helps to have, shall we say, remainders when you're selling cattle. So I'll move the board up a bit more, and at the very bottom there's going to be a place where you put out some cows. So you start off with an ability whereby you can get certain requirements completed, and you'll see how that works in a second. But let's move now on to what comes in the remaining of the pack. So you've got a whole bag of yellows, a whole bag of reds. You've got these people here, and you've got sort of the general layout. So this is going to be for blue, and if it's take out what's in the bag, I'll show you what's in it. You have one of these, so that is that final player counter marker thingy. We have these buildings. So these buildings start the game off. So we don't need this anymore on the board, at least at this moment in time. So leave them to the side. And they go covering your rosettes 4 and 6, bottom right hand corner. So you have these buildings. So in your first game, they recommend you have these little symbols, these letters, such as F, in the position where it says F, which is over here. But I like to play quite random, and I think it definitely adds to the variety of the game. So let's just chuck them out. So going in space A, and you'll see what happens in a second. This allows you to do an action whereby you discard 2 cards. So you have a deck, a starting deck of 14 cards. And what you're doing is, as you can see, it's a symbol showing that that's basically the starting deck. You're going to be shuffling this up and drawing 4 cards. When you draw 4 cards, you're going to look at them and see if that is a place you wouldn't mind stopping at. So imagine I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, and I drew those cards. So if I stop to this location, which is down here, I can discard 2 cards of the same type or the same number, and also the fact it's a jersey. I'll get 4 coins. I also start off some coins at the beginning of the game. So if I do that, I'm getting 4 coins. I can also remove a hazard. So we still need to do the rest of the setup, which I'll show you in a second, but I'm showing you the rest of these tiles first. So these are going to go out, and once I've laid out the rest of the board, you'll see what else needs to happen. So we have hazards. Hazards come here. You grab 7 from the bag and you chuck them out. So the first one we have is a blue hazard, so it covers here. The next one is another blue one, but it's a different type, and that goes over here. It's a TP, so it covers the square off. The next one, green, which again is a TP, so go there. And then another one, and there'll be another one. The final 2, another TP, and another TP. So something like that. But you could have them here, you can have them here. So as you can see, this is the way we can go around the board, but you can go this way as well. But if you go this way, there might be some negative effects. So you can gain 2 victory points, but you might have to stop, you might have to pay as per what's on the card. So you'll have some coins initially. You're also going to be laying out some people on here. So we're assuming it's a 2-player game. We're getting from the number 1 deck and putting them face up. And then I'll just do the rest of it in seconds. So the start player will be receiving 6 money, the second player will be receiving 7, and third will be 8 and 9 if you're playing that around players, respectively. So you take these tiles, these are basically the worker tiles, and they're going to be placed face down, and in a second we're going to be drawing them. So what you do is you have a pile of 1s face down here, face down 2s, face down 3s. So I'll just chuck out those. And then what we're going to do is lay them out. And this is a way of, one of the strategies of the game is thinking about which kind of worker to go for, possibly. So now, just standing them up. One thing, this actually start at 3, then 2, then 1, but as it's identical, it doesn't make any difference. So, put them all out, put them to the side for a second, start stacking them a little bit. Okay, so after we do this, we're doing again with the ones with the 3 on the back. And you'll be drawing 2 of these, both say 2, and place them face up on the 2 4-side spaces marked 2. So that's going to be up here, 1 and 2. Oops. And then you do it again for level 3 in a second. Something else you need to do is grab this, which will start here initially. This will be where we take these characters, which will be here in a second. Does it get pushed down? When it gets pushed off the end, it's going to give 2 victory points to the person who triggers that to make it fall off the end. So just chuck these out as well. This is something whereby if you cross this park or this part, you are going to get some victory points. So the minute, this is just me setting up the board. It's not necessarily a run through. It's just